Good morning.
Good morning.
I said good morning.
Good morning.
I do hope that you all seem very far away, so I'll come a bit closer. My name is Tony Wilson. No, that's fine. That's it. My name is Tony Wilson. I have been to Peru once before, 5 years ago. I am from the northeast of England. So if this is Scotland, this is England, I come from there. Okay, so very close to Scotland. I'm actually here as part of a tour from Dream On. And I don't know if you've heard about Dream On, but Dream On is a company that brings storytellers who don't speak like the Queen. Oh, hello, how are you? So people who have an accent, so that the students get to hear what we call colloquial English. So I do have an accent. I was speaking with some people. You'll be very glad I'm not from further north in Scotland, because I would say, hello, how are you? It's nice to see you. How's things going with you? Okay? That's another way of saying hola. Okay? But it's just very, very strong accent. So Dream On has storytellers who come from all over the world, who speak English and travel all over South America and Asia and also in China. So anyway, and it's great to be asked by Books & Co to be here. What I'm going to do is we're going to look at what a story is and how we, as adults, can show other people how to write a story. Does that sound like a good idea?
Yes.
Yeah? I love the fact that you're all smiling, okay? So far. So, I could say I tell stories, and people would say, well, yes, but do you really tell stories? So very quickly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a story. Now, don't worry too much about making notes, because as you can see, this is all being videoed, and it will be on YouTube, so you'll be able to see that. If you do look on YouTube and put in Tony Wilson Storyteller, there's about 500 stories of me telling stories right from pre-kinder up to teaching teachers. The last time I was in Peru, I said to the students, I teach teachers, and this girl said, how can you do that when teachers are so smart anyway? So there you go, it does work. If you look on Facebook and have Tony Wilson Storyteller, on there I have lectures like this one and sort of presentations like this one that last an hour, so they're there to help you. There are lots and lots of things, and it's free. Hooray! The other thing is, especially for this trip, I've made a story which is called A Video for Peru with Subtitles. Subtítulos. Okay? So, but it's meant for you to look at and for you to show your students. I remember last time when I was in Colombia, the students were studying the Romans, the ancient Romans. Well, where I live, there is an ancient Roman site. So it's all about that, and there's about 20 minutes just about Romans in that, and where I live. And last of all, if you look on here, you'll find that that's like a link to lots more resources. Still free. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I make up a story. I need somebody to give me an object. Anything at all. Please not a phone or keys. So something different from a phone or keys. But today, oi, por favor. Okay, thank you very much. Everyone knew this man. He had a green cloak upon his back, but his eyes were not the colours that people would normally see. They were not blue, they were not green, but they were pink. And nobody would look him in the eye. And in the place where he lived, there were many tall trees. People would look, people would gasp. People would look, people would gasp. It was louder than that. People would look, people would gasp. They couldn't believe this man, and still they would never look at him in his eye. And as he was there, he was walking, and he had a stick in his hand. And he did not walk in a straight line, and they could see that his hand would move. Now, I'll tell you, he had come to that place almost by accident. He had travelled upon the sea, and he had landed in a boat by the side of this place with the great mountains and trees. But as soon as people looked into his eyes, they were frightened. They did not like the way that he looked at them. And one night, when the moon was in the sky, there was a girl, taller than all of the others, cleverer than all of the others. And she watched as he moved, and could see that as he moved his stick, he was writing in the ground, writing in the sand that was there on the ground. And she followed him and looked and read, and all that she could read was, "In this world, I wish I had a friend who would look me in the eye." Is that a better story than "Once upon a time there was a pencil case"? I said, we're going to have to move much faster. I said, is that a better story than "Once upon a time there was a pencil case"?
Yes.
Okay, it's a trick. Okay? How many of you would, if you were given something, would feel that you could make up a story as quick as that? Hands up if you think you could make up a story as quickly as that. Good. Okay. It is a trick, and this is what the trick is. Show me a handful of fingers like this. Do the same as me. What we are going to do is, we are going to work on looking at stories right from pre-kinder up to adults. This is how you would do it with the little children. There are 5 questions. We've got 5 questions at our fingertips. Who could tell me one of those questions? Who knows what one of those questions could be? Anytime. Thank you. Lock that door, okay? Nobody leaves, okay? So yes. So who is in the story? I can't think where I'm going to get the next answer.
Where?
Can I just say thank you very much? Thank you for being enjoyed again. Okay, so where did the story happen? Who and where? What could be the next question?
What?
Hooray! We're getting there, yes. So what? What happened in the story? Okay? Everybody, scratch your chins. Do this with me. Do it. I'm going to do this monkey job. Okay, here we go. Why do I keep asking these questions? Why? This is it. Remember, this is what we are looking at with very young children. We want it to be playful. We want it to be joyful. Okay? There's only one last question, and I can't think when I'm going to get the last answer. When? That's it, yeah. We're getting there, okay? So when did it happen? Here we go. While I had that object, I didn't know you were going to give me that, did I? No. No? What I want to show you is how to open your own imaginations. Sometimes we get very scared about performing in front of children and we don't know what to say or do. In England, what we have is a phrase which is called the mantle of the expert. It means that we, as teachers or educators, have to know everything. And that's the way we should do it. Well, I like a better one, and those of you who have to teach, like, secondary, with Shakespeare, and it comes from Shakespeare, it's called the mantle of the fool. And this, like, why? When? It's fun, but it gives the control to the children. You've got them interested. Okay, are you watching? By the way, you've got to gasp at the end, okay? Inspire, like that, okay? There was a man, an old man, who always wore a green cloak upon his back, but he had eyes that were as pink as an autumn sun. And he would look at people and no one would look back at him. And in that place there were trees, tall trees. And as he walked, he had a stick in his hand and he moved. And as the stick moved, people still would not look at him. He had travelled to that place almost by accident, landed upon the shores in a boat, and he was trapped there. But I'll tell you this, there was a girl taller than the rest, cleverer than the rest, and all she would do was watch as what he was doing with the stick. And one day, when the moon was in the sky, she read what he had written in the sand. I wish in this world I could find a friend. You are so insincere. But do you think, now, can you see how what you've got is the structure of a story from a single object? This talk is called Stories from Nothing and Nowhere. All I had was a pencil case. Once upon a time there was a pencil case. It's opening the imagination and almost following a formula. What I would like you to do, there are lots of things for you to do. I would like you, in 2s or 3s, to take an object and let your imagination fly. Okay? I don't want you to write a story. That's my job. I am a performer who comes into schools, and if I went, there was a man, he was by the sea, he had a stick, he got lost, and the moon was in the sky. That wouldn't be sufficient. We're taking small steps. Look at one object between 2 or 3 of you, no more than 3. Te estoy mirando. Okay? So no more than 3 in a group. Take one object and simply say who it could be, where they could be, what they could be doing, why they would do it, and when. Could you do that now, please? I know it's a Saturday morning, and I do appreciate it, but let's go for broke. Okay? Yes. No, but ask an 11-year-old. So what we want to do is to maintain that kind of like connection to our imagination so that it's straight in. Now, it was great because right at the very beginning you said, does it have to be in this order? The answer is, for the little ones, probably yes, because there's a song which you can find on YouTube, and amazingly, it's called Who, Where, What, Why, Don't Forget When. Okay? Usually I bring a musical instrument with me, but British Airways has kindly smashed it, so I'm going to sing it. Yeah. That's never happened to anybody else, has it? Like everybody. The song is, if you think about the things we're linking, 5 questions, okay? Then a very easy and very annoying song, which goes, who, where, what, why, don't forget when, I'll tell you a story I can't wait to begin. Yes, quite simple, very easy, okay. So what I'm going to do, I've never sung this without the guitar. I'll sing you one of the verses. It goes, there once was a girl with golden curly hair. She ate some porridge, broke a little chair. She went to bed as quiet as a mouse, and when she woke up she was in the bear's house. You can put your hand up anytime you like. In the bear's house. In the bear's house. You can tell me which song it is. In the bear's house. Which story is it? Goldilocks. There once was a girl with golden curly hair. She ate some porridge, broke a little chair. She went to bed as quiet as a mouse, and when she woke up she was in the bear's house. Can you see how you're fulfilling that in a very simple straight line? Do you want another verse? Yeah, do you want to try one? Okay. The whole farmyard ran as fast as they could. When you've guessed it, you can put your hand up. The whole farmyard ran as fast as they could down to the river beside the wood. Never trust a fox's smile. Don't. I love it when teachers shout out rather than put their hands up. Never trust a fox's smile. Never trust a fox's smile. Don't climb upon his back. Run as fast as you can, or you might become a snack. You see, the gingerbread man, as somebody said. So who? The whole farmyard ran as fast as they could down to the river beside the wood. Never trust a fox's smile. Don't climb upon his back. Why? Because even in a story, you might become a snack. You don't. I love the fact that you're listening. You don't have to learn how to play the guitar. You don't have to learn how to sing, because all of this is on my website. That is what you would use, and it's free. What you would do is, with the very little ones, is you would look at that, you would sing this with them several times, and you would do the object story. Can we choose another object that's not a cactus pencil case? Something? Thank you very much. And what you would do is you would do that, and we need to demonstrate all of the time. Yes, you would agree these days that with children and with reading and literacy, perhaps not as high in a family's kind of work ethic, yes? That children need to be demonstrated. So you would demonstrate like this. Who could have this? Listen, a man, a boy, a woman, or a girl. I'm giving you 4 choices. Remember those children who will never put their hands up? You are giving them a choice and making it easier for them, okay? So who could have this? A man, a boy, a woman, or a girl? I'll ask you. It was like I'd shot you through the heart there. It was like, remember, we say to children, make up a story. We give them a sheet of paper and say, make up a story. How many of you would write a story now? How do we teach this? Oh, 2. But I love this as well. Do it like this. If you can write a story, put your hand up. The top and bottom of it is, we expect children to do this. We, today, might as well experience it. So we have the confidence to make mistakes, get things wrong in front of children. Okay? So, sorry, you said? A woman. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not going to let you get away with saying a woman. Is she old? Is she young? Is she happy? Is she sad? 4 choices. I'll ask you, sir.
She's old.
She's old. Yeah, but is she... okay, so she's old. So I like the idea of you saying that she's old. So it's going to be a woman. Do you know, I'm going to write that in red. So there was a woman who was old. So I'm going to write that in black on there. So that's your word there, old. 3 letters. Pretty good. Remember, still young children. Where are they going to be? A city, a town, a seaside, a riverside in the country. Oh, 5. Where could they possibly be? Lady right at the back there. Yes?
Sea.
By the seaside.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Do you know, I'm going to write that. I'm going to write the sea in blue. What kind of a seaside is it going to be? Flat, smooth, rough, rocky, you.
Flat.
Sophia?
Flat.
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 I like the idea of that. So, plano. So, yeah. A flat sea. Oh. Can everybody see that word at the back? Or is it a bit too faint? You can see it? Yeah? Okay, I wasn't sure. Do you know, just for me, to remind me, I'm going to put a box around that so I can see that one. Listen, everybody touch one ear. Do it now. Remember, I'm showing you what you would do with the young children. So touch one ear. There was an old woman... in Spanish. Okay, see me. There was an old woman who lived down by the flat sea. That's a good start to a story. What is she doing? Sitting, talking, walking, eating, running, hiding. What's she doing? What could she be doing? I'll ask the lady at the back there.
Me?
Yes?
She's walking.
Walking. I'm not going to let you get away with just saying walking. Everybody do this with me. Excuse me. Do that with me, everybody. Excuse me. How is she walking?
She's walking like she's going somewhere.
Okay, so determined.
Determined.
Yes, very clever young children you've got, okay? So she's walking, but we know that she's going somewhere. Do you know, I wish I'd written going in green. But I'm going to like, she's going. I like that. Wow, I like this. There was an old woman who was down by the flat sea. She was walking. You could tell she was going somewhere. That's pretty good, isn't it? Yes. We had a blank piece of paper. We had a scarf. Okay? Why is she there? Why is she there? Yes?
She's sad, she lost something.
She's sad. Oh, I like the fact that you said something. Sad and lost something. Oh, I don't know if I can get that big word in that space. Do you know, there was an old woman who was down by the flat sea. She was going, she was walking. She was sad because she'd lost something. You'd be quite happy with young children if they'd come up with a story like that. Yes? How long have we taken to do this? 4 or 5 minutes, if that? Remember, we are going to be looking at taking this idea and using it with secondary children. So if they're used to this, it's almost like a formula. When is it going to be? Morning, afternoon, or night time? Let's see, lady right at the far back with glasses. Night time. I'm not going to let you get away with just saying the night time. What kind of a night time? Is it going to be cold or dark or cold? A cold night. What season of the year? Is it going to be summer, spring, autumn or winter? Winter. A cold winter's night time. I'm going to write all of those words in black. Cold winter's night time. You can tell that I taught young children and older children. My writing is a mixture of printing and real, joined up writing. I'm stuck with it now, okay? Do you know something? I'm going to tell you the story. This old man was walking through the country. He could not have been happier. The sunny day all about him made him run like he had never run before. Oh, really? Oh, sorry, do you know, that's my mistake. What are you doing? You're giving control of the story back to the children. You could almost stop there on the afternoon and come back the next day to it. All right? But I think what we're going to do is we're going to count how many words we've used. Everybody do this with me, and I mean it. Okay, here we go. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You've given me 12 words to start a story. What you do is, it's better than once upon a time there was a scarf. Yes? Can you see what we're doing? We have to demonstrate this. Where are we going to start this story? Lady there. Will we start with the woman, the sea, the walking, the sadness, or the winter's night time?
Walking.
Walking. Do you know, I like that. By the way, I'm leaving all of these up. We're going to put them all up at the side. You can all take photographs of them. I'd rather we were making up stories now than you having to sit and write notes. Okay, that's the whole idea. A waste of mine and your time if we're sitting like riding. Let's go for it. Okay, we're starting with this. She was walking, definitely going somewhere. An old woman who lived by the side of a flat sea. She was sad. She had lost something. And she never thought that she would ever see it on this cold winter's night time. Is that a good start to a story? The answer is yes. And what you would do is, you would take out a voice recorder and record it so the children can listen to it. Not just once or twice, as many times as they want. By the way, what was your word?
Old.
Old. Yes? See what you're doing? You're telling the story, they hear their word, they have possession of the story. Now that's for a beginning of a story. What I want you to do now is take an object, okay, different object, okay, a different object, and this time think about it more in this sense, so that you're going to make a story, a beginning to a story with that one object. Could you do that now for me, please? By the way, I'm very impressed with the way that people have been doing this. They were all elaborating on these stories. Fantastic. I'll come round and help you. This is like a treasure trove. Do you own stationers? Get in touch with Books and Co. Okay, are you all right? Yes? It's one of those things, if I had enough time I would sit with every single group and give you ideas, but I love the fact that without any prompting, there was a point made at the back. When you have an object with the very little ones, you can say, you know, this is a dark road that's filled with animals, and there's always going to be somebody in your class going, no, it's not, it's a scarf. Yeah? So what we have to do, as we spoke before, it's about demonstration. And you say, we'll use this to make a character. And from that, we had a scarf, we made this. I'm going to show you what you would do with the children. The story needs to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Yes? Now in English, if you put those together, it says, be me. Okay? So in English it says, be me. And what we're trying to get to the children to understand is, when you write a story, it's no use having it inside of your head. You've got to make sure that the people who are reading it can be me. It's tricks, it's phrases, it's songs. Like I say, you'll be able to see them there. So, what you can do is this. You ask for another object. So could somebody give me another object, please? You have nothing. Nothing at all. Nobody's got a purse. Okay, your purse. Okay? A silver purse at that. Listen, we keep it simple. This is the very youngest children. What did we say spontaneously? She had lost something. Let's go with those children who are very literal and say she's lost a purse. I'm not going to let you, this is the phrase to use, I'm not going to let you get away with just saying a purse. Okay? What's in the purse? Money. I've got to say, the majority said money. Okay? It's money. Our job as educators is to do this thing of continuously asking questions. Yes? You know what it's like with your own children. Daddy, why is the sky blue? And one day I'd had enough That's a good one for teachers, by the way. I had had enough. And I said, why do you think the sky's blue? And he said, because the angels are looking down at us and they've all got blue eyes. Aww. How terrible did I feel? But on the same day, I thought, this is great. Instead of me always answering the questions, you keep asking them questions. Okay. The other thing is, when the children are going, I don't know what to write, you can go like that. Who, where, what, why, and when. So they think for themselves. So you would say, okay, it was a purse that had some money in it. What was the old woman going to buy with the money? What could it be?
Jewelry.
Jewelry. Okay, thank you very much. I do love the fact that you're all watching to see if I can spell jewelry properly in English. So yes, so yeah, jewelry. Yeah, because it can be spelled with one L or two. Okay, English. Okay, it had money and jewelry. Are we going to have a happy ending or a sad ending to our story?
Happy.
Do you know something? When I was working with like 5 and 6 year olds, happy, sad, sad, happy, happy. This is what you will do with them. I need you all to stand up. Yeah, no. Don't look at me. It's like a free gym lesson, okay? And this is what you do. Because even with the very youngest children, you will make notes in front of them. By the way, I have an accent. I want you all to say notes the way I say it. You ready? After 3. 1, 2, 3. No, you've got to speak. Okay. Doors locked. You've all got to say notes the way I say it. You ready? After 3. 1, 2, 3.
Notes.
Do I really sound like that? Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to vote. And I'm going to ask you to sit down if you want it to be happy or sad. So you've got to listen. Once you've sat down, you stay down. I am watching you. Okay? If you want to have a sad ending, sit down now. Mucho telenovelas. Okay? Okay, if you want to have a happy ending, sit down now. Okay? So on the majority, okay, remember, possession of the story, it's going to have a happy ending. The next one, just for all of you, we will have a sad ending. Okay. So we know now, listen, she's lost something, it was a purse, I can't think possibly what's going to happen at the end. What's she going to do? She's going to find it. Can you see that there's a straight line? You know, you understand why we tell traditional stories. Because they just go in a straight line and everybody stays the same, nobody changes, nothing like that. Okay, so I need another object. Something different. I can tell it's Saturday. All right, okay. So you said like a hairbrush. Okay? Have I heard that? Thank you very much. That's okay. Okay. What could this be? Could it be remember demonstration? Could it be a mirror? Could it be a
Microphone.
what, sorry? A microphone.
A guitar.
So you know, I love the idea. You're so modern. Okay. I like the idea of a microphone. There you go. I'll give you that back. So is she going to have it, or is somebody else going to have it? Is she going to have it, or is somebody else going to have it? I'll make you all stand again. Is she going to have it, or is somebody else going to have it? I'll ask. I'll ask you. Is she going to have it, or somebody else?
Somebody else.
Somebody else. So it's going to be another character. Scratch your chins. Excuse me. Man, boy, woman, or girl? I'll ask you. Yes, okay.
Boy.
A boy. What kind of boy is he going to be? kind, miserable, tall, short. There's no reason why we can't have somebody like that. Yes?
Can it be a good-looking boy?
A good-looking boy. Okay, a good-looking boy. I love the idea of that. A good-looking boy. Sorry, I keep boy, and we said a microphone. I'll put that like that. Okay, that's kind of a like an abbreviation that you would put in, and you would bring it. By the way, have you noticed that I'm using different colours every time?
Yes.
So you're associating the sea was blue, green with going. But this looks more interesting, yes, to young eyes because it's different colours. And they don't come to you and say, I don't know how to write the word going. It is the second word in green on the third line. Yeah? I used to have a line of about 21 children all standing waiting for me to write the story for them. Okay? The head teacher came and said, Mr. Wilson, you're going to have to do something to stop them standing in a long queue. And this is what I came up with. And it went, I don't know what to write, Mr. Wilson. I don't know how to write, let's say, cold winter's night time. It's those 3 words in black right beside the word when. Can you see? And it's about inquiry, but it's still possession. Okay, so there's a good-looking boy with a microphone. What's the boy doing with the microphone? Singing? Is he talking? Is he? What could he be doing with the microphone?
Karaoke.
Sorry?
Karaoke.
Karaoke. Karaoke. Okay. Okay. I like the idea of that. So we'll say singing. Yeah. And now we know that the story's going to have a happy ending. I need one more object. I'll ask the lady at the back there. One more object. Yes? Yeah? Yes? An object. Anything. Just show me. Physically show me. A pen. Thank you very much. A pen. Okay? Put your hand on the top of your head like this. Do it now. This is the sign for imagination. Go like that. So, pen. What you're doing is imagination. I could say a pen. He's singing away. He's looking. But what I would do is I would finish the story for them. It's there by the sea. That's flat. There's money that's been lost. And as he's there with that microphone, he's got a spade and he digs, which is the pen, digs the purse. And let's put a bit of moral dilemma in it. Where do you want me to start the story? Let's see, somebody I haven't asked. I love the fact that you're avoiding my eyes like this. Do you want me to start with who or where, why or when? Why? Okay. And again, you would get a voice recorder and say it into a voice recorder and have a bank of them on an accessible player so that they can sit and listen to the story. So far, I would have read that. Then I would have read the second one that started with what. Then I'm going to tell it this way with why, so they hear 3 different versions of the same story. So when you said, does it have to start in that order, the answer is no, it doesn't. But you become playful with it. Okay, here we go. Why? She was so sad that she had lost something that was so very precious to her. It was a purse that she'd had with money inside of it so that she could buy jewellery. Not for herself, but for her own daughter. This woman was old and had always lived down by the side of the flat sea, going to try and find this purse on a cold winter's night time. She couldn't believe it, but you could hear singing, sweet singing in the air. She could see a boy, a good-looking boy, a boy with a microphone in his hand, singing on an empty beach, because he needed to practice. She came closer to him, and it was as she came closer to him she saw that there was something. The two of them, he stopped his singing and started to dig in the sand, and they found that purse. Now, the boy would have liked to have had some of the money, but she spoke to him and said, if it hadn't been for you, I would never have found this. I would never be able to buy some jewellery for my daughter. Come to my house and I will sit with you and teach you how to sing properly. And the two of them sang beautifully by the side of the sea and smiled. Is that a story? Yes? And that's what you would expect. Thank you very much. So, I think we've probably got about 5 minutes to go. I'm going to show you something that I would use with older children. Slightly older children. And this, again, was something that I used. By the way, take as many photographs as you like. Who, where, what, why, and when. If you look at this, like I say, you're more than welcome to. When we were in Rio, I used to love this because like people would be walking along, okay? People would be walking along and they'd see like a banister on the stairs and they'd go like this. So here we go. Right. If you think about it, this is for children towards the end of primary. You've got this. There was a girl so unsure of everything that she did who lived in a village by the side of the seaside. She was walking and talking to herself. She'd been born in this place, but now she couldn't believe that she was completely lost. Lost and far away from this place that she knew so well. And on an autumn evening that was hot and windy, she stood there and wondered where her life would go. This boy was weak but curious, a good boy who lived in a town that was followed all over with green. He was talking quickly. He'd been born in this place, but now he was travelling back on holiday to visit those people. He remembered a summer night that was dry and still. There are so many different combinations that you can use. Please take photographs of this. I do believe that that's... Are we for time? Could you just find out? Because if we've got 5 minutes, I'll do something else. Lucy, could you find out if the
I think you have got 5 minutes.
I've got 5 minutes. Okay. Can you see how there's like a formula? Well, what I'm going to do is before we break, we've already got the who, the where, the what, the why, and the when. And this is what, oh, maybe not that exclamation here. What you've got already is this, 5 questions. This is what you want for primary. Does this all make sense? Yes, all happy?
Yeah.
Show me happy faces. Like this. What you understand is with older children, they need more. In many respects, the only difference being the amount of detail. 10 minutes. That's great. So in 15 minutes. Okay, that's great. This is the 5 questions that we're answering. A writer, for everything, can cover this. If you're writing to your bank manager, okay, who you are, where you're living, what you want the money for, why you're going to borrow it from their bank, and when you're going to pay it back. If you have a postcard, postal? Yeah? Who you are, where you are, what you've been doing, why you're sort of coming back, and when it's going to be. Everything is this, okay? Writing is this as a process, is how you can get this across. If we have 5 questions, we should have 5 answers. How can we tell somebody how big, wide, strong, hard, flat, soft, smelly something is? What do we need to use? Adjectives. Can I tell you something? In England, if I'm working with 11-year-olds, maybe one child will put their hand up and say adjectives. It's really, so if I had like 90 11-year-olds in front of me, I'd have 3 hands up. and they would never ever say adjectives. So it makes me laugh that I travel to Peru and you get it right first time. Okay? Something's going awry, as we say. So how it can be described. Now, a lot of children don't understand why we need description. There was a girl, when I was in Scotland, I said, why do we need to have description? And she said, the classic, because the teacher told me to. And it's true. We do need description. This is how you get it across to children. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, close your eyes. That's all of you. There's a fish. Open your eyes. What's the fish like? No.
Purple.
Small. Yeah, it's not purple. Yeah, no, not really, but a good guess. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm not saying, no, it's not. So, put a good guess, yes? Something else about the fish.
Moving around.
Moving around. Shiny, I guess these are good. Not the one I'm thinking about. We could stay here for the rest of the day and you would never get it. This is... But that's what you do. Do you remember this bit about be me? If you don't tell people, people don't know what it is. Close your eyes. Listen. There is a fish. It is as wide as my hand and as long as my arm. Beautiful, round, golden eyes and blood-red fins. It swims through the water faster than a bird can fly in the air, and its voice is as sweet as honey. Open your eyes. Did that paint a picture inside of your heads?
Yes.
That's how you get what description does. Because I could stand here and you would tell me, because you're all teachers and we know that teachers are smart, okay? And you would say it back, as wide as my hand, as long as my arm, beautiful round golden eyes, blood-red fins, swims through the water, and a voice as sweet as honey. And that's how you get it across to children, okay? What else does a story need to have in it? Do this with me. Do it. You ready? Do it! Sophia? You ready? Go. This is your big chance. I'll count you in. You ready? 1, 2, 3. What else does a story need to have in it? Emotions, yes. Well done, you. Yeah. So surprise. I think nobody's ever said surprise, but another one, yeah. So emotions or feelings. What else does a story need to have inside of it? Do this with me. No, well, yeah, it does, yes. You resolve that. Yes, as we go along. Do this with me. Put your hands like that. Go like that. It's a beating heart. Okay? Okay, so you have like emotions. One of the things I'm going to tell you about, if I have time, is don't say he was happy, he was sad. Or as a year 5 said to me the other day, he was very happy, he was very sad. Talk about the heart. We're talking about secondary now, okay? Talk about the heart. His heart felt like a stone in his chest. That's better than he was sad. Yes, okay? So, do this with me. Do it. I swapped fingers. Okay, do it with me. We've got 5 of these. Senses, yes, well done. All 5 of them. 5 senses. Teachers do love talking a story. And there's one thing, lots of children read Harry Potter, and J.K. Rowling does this a lot. It's how the voice sounds. I'll demonstrate this, okay? I'm going to tell you a story like this. The boy walked into the butcher's shop. It's still a story. Somebody's in it, they did something, and they were in a place. But how about this? This boy was nearly as tall as a man, with hair that hung over his shoulders. In this village, everyone knew him. He had never worked hard in his life, and now he was being asked to work inside of a place that he hated. He could not stand the smell of blood in the air. And as he looked about him, the sun was shining on the front of the shop. The shop had never been that clean, but you would think that in that place, he would make sure he washed it all down, and his eyes held no emotions. The taste, the iron taste of blood was upon his lips, and he spoke. And as he spoke to the butcher, he said this, and his voice rattled and echoed inside of the shop, "I will never work for you." And he heard his voice as it died away in the distance. That's a bit different from "they found a purse." Yes? And there's a song that goes with this. And I delight in singing this song with 10 and 11-year-old children who are like, you remember the ones I said, like, "Sing me a song," like this? And I make a point of persecuting them. I will stand like this with them until they join in, playing the guitar. The chorus goes, who, where, what, why, don't forget when. I'll tell you a story, I can't wait to begin. I'll tell you all my feelings, you'll sense it from the heart. I'll tell you a story, I can't wait to start. Now, it is the most annoying song in the world. But when the children are there and they have a piece of paper in front of them and they've heard me on YouTube singing this song, what they've got is 5 questions and 5 answers. So when you're working with secondary children, it's no longer this, talk to the hand. It's this. Who, where, what, why. Don't forget when. Description, emotions, senses, talk, and the way the voice sounds. And you'd be surprised the number of children that I've worked with who've come up to me 10 years after I've been in their school and have said, "Thank you for that awful song." It's kind of a bit like being on X Factor. But they said, "Thank you for that song, it helped me." You have been absolutely marvellous. We're now going to have a coffee break, and then we will do some more about character and settings and making a secondary kind of story. You've been fantastic. Give yourselves a round of applause. I'll put these at the side so you can take photographs of them.
Dear teachers, please, on behalf of the hotel, they tell me to